we constantly have to pivot. Constantly. I started in the Hispanic market. We were doing about 250 transactions a year, which back in the day in the early 90s or mid 90s, that was a lot of transactions. You want the key to success?
Yeah.
Questions that, once again, that comes back to training and how you were trained.
And experience, probably.
A lot of times. Well, like here, when you started getting trained with JM.
Yeah.
I mean.
With JM.
That's Johnny Boy, if you guys don't
Johnny
know.
Boy.
I mean, I remember when he started. I remember when you started.
Yeah.
You know?
Hello, everyone. This is Alfredo with Real Talk, and today I'm actually going to speak to somebody. He's a legend. Like, he needs no introduction. He's a legend. My friend, Noah Herrera. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, young man. How are you today?
Good. Oh, you call me young man. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Dude, I've been waiting for this for so long. I mean, you've always been on my radar. I mean, we wanted to have a chat with you because, I mean, there's not that many people that we can talk to and get the information of what they do, what they've been doing for the last, I mean, the last I recall is 20 years, but you've been in business way longer than that.
A little bit. Almost double.
Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, Noah's been in business for a long time. He, I mean, I'm not going to talk about millions and businesses and, investors and doing a lot of stuff within real estate. But first of all, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll get into it right now.
Hey, I'm Noah Herrera, just a local Las Vegas boy. Married my high school sweetheart. Been married for 29 years. We've been together for almost 39 years. I got two boys who are 22 and 25. One just got engaged last Friday. And that's really what's important.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
That's really, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what's important. We can talk about the market conditions, what happened, how we got here. But at the end of the day, what I find out, the higher you go, the most important things are family and health.
Family, that is true.
Yeah,
that is
that's
true.
it.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Thank you. Hey, so let's go back a little bit.
Sure.
I mean, you're successful. That's a given. And again, we can describe successful as
I'm just
many
a working
ways.
guy, right?
Yeah, but when you started in real estate, it's a whole different ball game from then to now. I'm going to say, I mean, there's different ways of doing business, I would say.
Well, here, I mean, it's real simple. When we started doing business, it was like the broker was God. Now it's like you just go somewhere, do 3 deals, and you're at 100%.
Yeah.
I remember for the first year and a half, I worked under a lady named Amalia and Fabian Pardo.
Okay.
And I was doing 5 to 8 deals a month for them at 33% for about a year. Then they bumped me up to 50%. And I got to tell you, a lot of people say, well, why would you do that at such a low amount? The amount I learned from them under their tutelage. Fabian Pardo was huge here in the market, and so was his sister Amalia. Amalia controlled the Hispanic market.
What year was this?
The late 80s.
Oh, wow.
Late 80s, early 90s, I worked for them.
Okay. And how long were you with them in that
probably
structure?
About 2.5 years.
And that goes to say, I mean, a lot of people, like you said, have that perspective that when they go into the business, they want to make 100% and start going strong and all this. But then I think, and Yesenia mentions it a lot in our show too, having a mentor, how important that is.
Well, here's the thing, man. Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. You don't know what you don't know. And you start in real estate. Oh, I did 3 deals. I didn't know anything about real estate probably after my 10th deal, when they were there watching me do every single deal and walk me through the deals. I mean, when we started, we didn't have MLS. We had the MLS book, which is an actual book. Mm-hmm. We didn't. The lock boxes we had on there were just like old lock boxes, which you put a key into there. At times we could actually go present our offers directly with the listing agent to the seller. Yeah. So it's a whole different time.
Different times, right?
Different times.
And
3-page contract.
Yeah, and I keep saying, like, look, we talk about, I know our friend Juan talks about prospecting, right? And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I keep telling him, like, there's more than just that.
I've never prospected.
I did for a long time. I don't now, but I mean,
I've never, ever prospected. The first probably 20 years of my career, 25 years of my career, was simply buyers. And I sold in excess of $1 billion to buyers.
Strictly buyers.
Straight buyers, no prospecting. And that's where we started. We started primarily in the Hispanic market.
So before we go into your success and what you're doing now, everything else that you're doing now, and what you have done throughout the years, from when you started, and let's say you got, new agents going in. I was just at the school the other day. It was like probably, it's about 40 to 60 people at the real estate school. But what would you tell, let's say those people, how would you start your business? And I'm not talking about just start selling real estate, but start a business.
Those are two completely different things because real estate is unlike any other animal.
Okay.
I see the market a little different, or not the market, I see the real estate industry a little bit different the way it used to be. Where before, when I was getting recruited, they actually had us at a nice dinner, 15, 20 agents, and this is why you should come here, boom, boom, boom. What it is now is most people shouldn't be in real estate. That's the reality.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
16,000 agents and maybe 1,600 do
1%.
90, actually probably less than 1,600. More than likely, probably 100 agents do 90% of the business. And that's just the unfortunate reality. Half of the realtors haven't done any real estate at all. What would I tell a new agent? Go get another job. Don't get in real estate. Because this is an incredible, people come to me, I want to be in real estate. I go, that's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
It's a horrible idea. With technology and everything changing, it's hard. But if you do want to get into real estate, work for a team, someone that's going to train you, someone that's going to help you, someone that's going to literally feed you.
Yeah.
Because the reality, most people that get into the real estate industry, they have 1 to 3 clients. And that's what a lot of these puppy mills or big companies focus on. Hey, you know what? You're going to come here. We're going to give you X amount of percentage. And then after X amount of deals, you're going to go 100%. Well, the first 2, 3 deals, they cut you back because you need so much help.
Yeah.
And after your 2, 3 referrals, you don't have anything or anyone else.
Yeah. Should there be, now that you talk about that, like all these realtors that are not doing business, should there be a minimum, like a regulation of how many deals you should be making to call yourself a realtor?
That's a long discussion, but here's the reality of it. NAR is a business. All the associations, they're a business. It's no different than a gym membership.
Yeah.
How many gym memberships are there? It's the same difference.
Yeah.
They make money if they do
you go
deals
or
or they don't.
Yeah.
So, that's part of the deal. A lot of people, the majority of people don't do business, which drives me crazy.
Okay, so now you bring me to another question that I've been asking myself a lot. Part-time agents.
Part-time agents can be good, man. If you have a good job and you want to do real estate on the side, great. That's a great thing to do.
Okay.
What I have a concern with is when they're a new agent and they're betting 100% on all this. They don't, if you want to get in real estate, you should have 6 months reserve.
Yeah.
If you don't have 6 months reserve, don't get in real estate. 100%. Because you're going to struggle. You're going to be out of the business.
Mentality, you won't be ready either.
No, you won't be ready either.
Yeah.
Because, you think you're going to get in real estate and all of a sudden the next 30 days. I mean, you know how long it takes.
Yeah.
We're working.
6 months to a year.
Yeah. I mean, right now, what we're closing now is 30 to 60 days in front.
Yeah.
So the money that I'm getting paid now is from 2 months ago.
3 months ago, yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand that. But I think, I know mentorship is 100 the key to success. Find a team.
Yeah. And I think we both been in that seat. I mean, when I started too, I had a mentor as well.
Who was your mentor?
Juan Martinez.
Juan Martinez.
Yeah, and obviously,
work hard, make money.
Yeah, work hard, make money.
No, but you know what? But that's the real deal.
And that's it is. Yeah.
People like when I hire a new person, and I very rarely, we hire 1 out of 25 people we interview normally. But when I hire, a lot of the people that I hire are 18, 19 years old, and I tell them, listen, if you want what we have, here's the deal. It's 100 hours a week, no days off, no vacations for 1 year, period. If you're not willing to do that, then I'm not willing to invest my time in you.
Exactly. And that's how it should be. I think there should be a standard, too, of how these offices recruit, I think, too. I mean, I know volume is one thing, and I know, per capita, per employee, per agent, whatever. But I just think the numbers sometimes are so inflated that they don't make sense anymore.
I agree.
But let me ask you this: when you started, I mean, you're making, now you're in a different situation. But I remember we were talking about the newspaper. You had this big old, I think it was Remax Central back in the days.
Oh yeah, that was at Remax Central. That was probably the early 2000s.
Yeah, you had it had to be 04 or 5 or 6, and you had this big ad.
The foreclosure bus you talking
with all
about?
these properties.
Yeah,
I think I had to deal with that, and then I remember I'm like, man, this guy it's always been a big deal. You've always been on the top. You've always been relevant. You've always been a name in the industry, at least as far as the last 20 years that I've been in the business. But how'd you get there?
One deal at a time.
Okay.
With a lot of focus. And here's the thing. I mean, I've been in the top 1% in the 80s and 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020. So you have a lot of agents that come in, flash, bang, boom, I'm number one. No one cares you're number one. No one cares. I'm the best. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
People don't care what you do for them. They do care, but they remember, more importantly, how you make them feel.
Yeah.
And that's really what the name of the game is. We have to sell, what is important to the client, how it's going to make them feel, how it's going to change their life. And that's what people don't get. So why have I always done that? Because I've always taken that extra step. What we're missing a lot of times is customer service. Mm-hmm. And you always have to be relevant. You have to advertise. You have to do things. But advertising has changed a lot. I mean, we would do television. We had a television show every Saturday morning. Then, advertising, newspaper, magazine. We focused, probably in the early 2000s, we shifted to focusing on investors. So we did a lot of investors. We did a lot of seminars. We sold thousands and thousands of houses to investors here in Las Vegas. We used to have... we would take, like on a 3-day seminar, we'd take 3 or 4 busloads of investors literally to buy houses. Yeah. And if you tell people that, they wouldn't believe that. And then when the market changed and there were no more investors, there's always investors. There was a lot of REOs. We created the repo bus, the REO bus. We call it the repo bus.
Yeah.
And we bought a bus, wrapped it, and
then that became a thing.
Then everyone started doing the repo bus.
Yeah, or tourists.
Or
something else.
I can't remember what we called it, the foreclosure bus tour or something. But the thing about it is, look, man, you always have to be cutting edge. You have to be doing something different. If people are going this way, we go this way.
Yeah.
Like right now, the market, everything is scared. We should hold off and buy. We're buying more.
Yeah. So at what point do you think you realize that I got to do something different? I mean, I know you were an agent, just a regular agent for a certain period of time.
I'm still just a regular agent.
No, I know, but then you have to, like you say, you have to reinvent, right? You have to move with the times. Yesterday, I told an agent, hey, he was offering me something, and I said, dude, you got to adjust with the times, And then he said something else. But at what point did you realize that you had to change the way you did business?
That's a great question. We constantly have to pivot. Constantly. I started in the Hispanic market. We were doing about 250 transactions a year, which back in the day, in the early 90s or mid 90s, that was a lot of transactions.
Yeah.
And then I shifted to a different market, then another market. Times always change. You have to pivot. You have to understand that all things come to an end. Like work with the investors, boom, that was done. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Like, I hated doing short sales, but guess what? That's what we got to do. And we did thousands of short sales.
Yeah.
Even more, I just like doing REOs, but guess what? That's where we're at. We started doing REO. You have to constantly pivot and be aware of what's going on in the market. The problem I see with a lot of agents...
So it's a constant change.
It's a constant change, man. It's adapt or die. That's simply what it is. It's a dog-eat-dog world. You have to constantly adapt to where the market is going, not to where you want it to be. Like what has worked for the last 5 years is not going to work. The biggest concern really is going to be AI. And how that is affecting things. Are there still going to be agents? I believe so.
Yeah, of course.
Even as much, like, I hate getting those when I call the automated text. I hate those. I want to talk to a person.
Yeah.
When I'm buying a house or I'm buying something, hey, what is, like, I go take a trip. I want to talk to the concierge.
Yeah.
Although I do the Google search and the AI search, but I want to talk to someone. Hey, they have a great restaurant
before you make that final decision, right?
Yeah. So for me personally, and maybe younger kids, I'm Generation X, and you got all sorts of younger kids that they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I believe that there will always be a need for realtors. Like right now, do you really need a realtor to sell your house? Technically, no.
Yeah.
But you know what? You could. There's do-it-yourself divorces and bankruptcies, but do you do it yourself? No.
Yeah.
You want someone to hold your hand.
Yeah. I think there's always an emotional part to it
100%.
that AI cannot really fix for you, and there's always empathy of going through a divorce and now you have to sell your property, and that AI or computer will not really empathize with you
or understand.
or understand.
Or you're selling a hoarder house or
and
this
it's
or
like
that, or how do
really
you deal with
black or
stuff?
white, and it's like, you know, and I think there's moments in there where somebody, you need to talk to somebody about the
Absolutely.
situation. So I think you're right. I don't think it's going to replace. I think Realtor will be there, but that has been a very common talk right now with AI and how it's going to replace the business. And I've seen it all the times in comments, you know, from, you know, social media. But I agree with you. Now, going into your next aspect of business, I mean, you know, being a realtor is not just being a realtor. It's not just selling a house.
No, you know, here, the reality is this. If you're a realtor or in real
Mm-hmm.
estate, you have to invest. If that's the only reason you should be in real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate is a good living. Making money and buying and investing in real estate is where you make wealth.
And knowing how to use it.
Yeah.
We talk about diversifying. I mean, I know you're pretty big on that. I mean, I know you do a lot of stuff. So why don't you tell us about that? How did that come to you? Like,
You know what it is? Here's the reality of it. As the brokerage model goes down, you have to make money on the ancillary businesses. But not so much to make the money, but to control the customer experience.
yeah.
So here, like...
So all in one shop, pretty
yeah,
much.
all in one
Okay.
shop. It's got to be vertically integrated. That
Yeah.
way, the customer experience. What the customer wants, they want the best at the best customer service, the best deal at the best price. And how do you control that if you don't control all the services?
Yeah.
So that way, we control the customer experience. The customer is happy. We're able to lower our prices, and they get a customer experience. Like, we got involved in solar not because we wanted to sell solar,
Yeah.
but because our clients kept getting ripped off and they were getting solar.
Well, I was talking about that's what I was going to. I mean, not only control the real estate transaction with, you know, mortgage, title, real estate, but also going outside of the scope of the real estate transaction that involves solar or, you know,
Construction,
or
solar,
flipping, construction, and all these other
insurance,
things.
everything.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a big gum to chew. I mean, it's like literally going above and beyond on different aspects of a transaction that some people don't see.
You know what? Here, it's like all things. First of all, a lot of times I see the problem is where people I want to do this and that. You know what? Here, you're not ready to scale your business like that.
Yeah.
What I recommend, if you're doing 15 to 20 deals a year, maybe it's time to get your mortgage license.
Okay.
Start with that. We've been telling people for the last 7 to 10 years, hey, get your mortgage license. You're going to be able to do FHA loans. Obviously, with disclosures, the ABA, you have to fully disclose
Yeah.
everything. But just with disclosures, and this way you're able to get two parts of the actual transaction.
Yeah.
Start with that. Start with your real estate. What happens a lot of time, people start focusing on other things, and this gets lost. The real estate gets lost. The
Yeah.
real estate is a bread and butter that drives everything. That is a nucleus.
You know what? To me, you have been, and you've always been, and I'm going back and thinking, and you know, you're not the flashy type.
No.
Because I know a lot of those.
I'm very low key.
I know a lot of those. But, you know, you're that typical person that we talk about, like, I don't know, like JC per se. You know, he doesn't have to show how much he's worth, you know?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, exactly.
Nobody cares.
And in some instances, agents go into the business and want to flex and show, but then again, nobody cares. Then what is it about this industry or this new generation of realtors that they just want to show?
You know what? It's really not a new generation. That's always been around.
It's always been
It's
around.
always been around. Yeah, I remember they would say, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard that. Yeah.
The reality is nobody cares.
Yeah.
A lot of times, you know, people want to perceive that they're more than what they are. Mm-hmm. But people know.
Yeah.
You know, they have to, like, I don't really wear designer stuff, not because
Yeah.
I can't, it's just because I personally don't want to. There's nothing wrong if you want to wear it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it just, for me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Now, what would you say to finish with your way of coming up? But what would you say to, like, an advice to newer agents to move on and grow their business or start off their business?
Well, first of all, a lot of them aren't in business.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is they just show up, who are they going to call? They have no specific plan of action, no business plan, no game idea. Like every day, when I get to the office, I'm normally in the office about 7 to 7:30.
Okay.
And it's all my people are there. They get there at 7:30. The night before, I have my hit list, my 3 things that I want to accomplish. So I have that. I go in the morning, boom, I have my per se a to-do list to follow up. I have a to-do list every day, and then we check metrics, KPIs, key performance indicators. What happens a lot of time, people just fumble through real estate or in life.
Yeah.
You know, and
They just go with it.
Yeah, they just go, I'll see what today has. No, you have to have a plan of action. Like a lot of people prospect. I think that's great. I think there's a little bit too much prospecting. I think it's really big, more of a concern now, especially with the do not call list and the FTC.
Yeah.
With all the fines, a lot of people are getting big fines. And, you know, those could put you out of business relatively quick. We had a couple huge lawsuits, which have been in the news. I mean, you know, we don't need to talk about them, but so here, the most important thing I could tell a new agent: get a game plan, execute it, get up early, stay late. You want the key to success?
Yeah.
Work, get a business plan. You have to work at least 12 hours a day. Like I saw some guy goes, "Oh, I'm going back to 12 hours a day of work." I'm like, bro, that's normal.
Yeah.
I work from when my phone is off,
Which is your phone.
Yeah, until I put it down at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Because that's real estate.
What would it take? What would you tell these agents? What would it take to get where you're at?
I'll tell you what I tell my guys and girls. Nobody cares how you feel. Nobody cares about your feelings. You need to get to work. The only one that might care is your mother or your wife.
Okay.
And your wife really doesn't care that much unless you're bringing some money home.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
You have to master monotonous tasks on a daily basis.
And you've been in this so long, and you still have those tasks, those daily tasks, those daily goals, right?
Every day.
Yeah.
The most valuable thing that you need in real estate is discipline.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So let's go into something more, a little bit different here. Let's talk about real estate.
Okay.
All right. So the market has been a little iffy. Let's put it that way. I mean, different. I'm going to say different, not iffy, because
the market shifted. We have to shift with the market.
But it's a shift that I don't think. I mean, at least I haven't seen in 20 years. I don't know if you've seen it before this way, where everything is so. I see it unpredictable, but I want to hear your opinion about it.
Here, like if you think about it, like I've been through the Pacific Rim crash.com crash, 9/11, Y2K 2008. 12, COVID, and this. So it always constantly changes.
Yeah.
You know, like right now, so like what are we seeing now? About 2 months ago, we saw mass amount of cancellations. Mm-hmm. We saw every property we had was being canceled 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Our requests for repair lists were normally 2 or 3. Now they're novels.
Yeah.
Right?
I got one yesterday.
Yeah,
2
exactly.
pages. Yeah.
Oh, and the number one thing, if you do send a big request for repairs, call the agent ahead of time.
Yeah,
and let them
right.
know, hey, listen, it's coming over. It's complete.
Communication.
Communicate with the other agent.
Yeah.
The thing that people understand is like we're not at odds with the other agents.
Yeah.
We work with them together. And I tell my people, it doesn't matter if you don't like this agent or not. Pretend you're working on a $10 million deal and you're making a full boat and just work on that.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a lot of people that I really, let's just say I'm not fans of, but I do business with no problems because it doesn't matter how I feel about them. We're there to service our clients. And my attitude, ego should not play a concern in what we're doing. But back to the market, what are we seeing? We're seeing a large amount of properties back on the market. Interest rates are still high. The problem with that is everything that we've had going on in our economy, you know, and the news. I think now we're polarized by news because like before we wouldn't hear about any problems because we didn't have the internet.
Unless we read it.
Right. Now I've got guys telling me, oh my God, AI is taking over and this and that. I had a guy the other day, Shariel. I'm like, stop, focus on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Focus on what you're doing. The problem is people are unfocused.
And goes back to your mental.
Goes back to your mental state.
Yeah.
So what are we seeing here? I think in the next couple months, like we have the Fed chair that'll be there until May 23rd. Mm-hmm. I think when they announce who the new Fed chair may be, the so-called shadow Fed, the shadow Fed will shore up the secondary markets and Wall Streets. We'll see a decrease in rates, hopefully. If that when would that happen? That no one really knows. We're hoping fourth quarter 2024, first quarter, second quarter, if not for sure, third quarter 2026. You know, because they say survive in 25.
Yeah.
Because the fix is in 26.
Yeah. I mean, we hope. Now, let me ask you. Now, this video may come up a little bit in the next week or so, but there's lately news, and maybe this by then it will happen. But there's news about pushing out Powell. If that does happen, what do you think will be the next?
Okay, let's hypothetically say that they bring in a new Fed chair. Well, obviously the Fed chair is put in by the president.
Of course.
If that happens, he wants rates to go down to where the rest of the central banks in the world are, which are about 2 points lower.
Yeah.
If they were lower the prime rate by 2 points,
I heard 3.
let's just say 2.
Okay.
That would more than likely make the 10-year drop about 100 basis points or 150 basis points, which would make interest rates drop a point to 2 points. Could you imagine? I mean, right now rates are what, six and a half?
So in the 4s.
High 4s, 5s.
Yeah.
If rates are in the high 4s, low 5s, we're going to have a resurgence of a lot of people that are refied, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, a stimulation in home buying.
Yeah.
We're seeing right now houses under 500 are still moving between, I think it's kind of like no man's land, between like 700 to 1.3, 1.5, 1.8. But then over like 1.8 and over, it's still people that have money will always have money.
Of course.
What we're starting to see now is generational families moving in together to qualify.
Yeah.
Because they can't afford what's on the market.
Right.
I mean, because let's look at a $500,000 house at a 6% interest rate, principal, interest, tax, and insurance and mortgage insurance. You're looking at $3,500, $3,800.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. For one person.
Yeah.
Especially with the wages and stuff not going up. So, I mean, obviously, this is hypothetical because we don't know what could happen. Obviously, there's things that are said that also affects the market, even if they're not a done deal, but just the fact that they say things, it just kind of fluctuates everything. And this is what I'm talking about, the unpredictability. You know, we talk about tariffs and we talk about all this, and we just don't know where we're going. I mean, to me, sometimes it seems like it's hard to predict the market, even though we're like on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
You know, we do business on a day-to-day. This is what is going on today. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in 3 months. Shit, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Right? But the question is, like, people want answers.
And the reality is that nobody can really give a clear answer.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, I think a lot of people are on the sidelines because they're scared. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know me personally.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, how scary was COVID?
Yeah.
When everything was shut down, right?
And look what happened.
Yeah, everything was shut down for 2 weeks, and then thank goodness for our association with the lobbying team that we made realtors essential workers, and a lot of agents made 3 to 4 years of income in 1 year.
Yeah.
And prices just went, they skyrocketed because of PPP and all the other government funding programs.
And the rates.
And the rates.
Now, let's talk about the rates. What would you say to people that are still hovering, whining about, well, we're going to wait for the rate to go down to like 2 or 3% again? You know what? What would you say to those people?
You could take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You know, the reality is this. I mean, I wish the rates were 2%, 3%, 4%. The reality is that was once in a lifetime shot.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen again, more than likely. If people are waiting for rates to lower, the problem is if rates get lower, the stock of houses are going to go up. So if you buy now, let's say 6% at a house, let's say at $400,000, if rates go down a point or two, that house is going to go up diametrically 15 to 20% more than likely because of the demand and the need.
Yeah.
So the reality is this: buy now, bite the bullet, maybe do a buy down. And then, when the rate's lower, then you refinance the property. Yeah. Because the thing is this, even with how much...
And real estate is a long-term game anyways.
It's a long-term play. It's a long-term play. Yeah. And versus, they're renting a property, it makes no sense. They're throwing the money away. Now, I think where the big move-up is move-up buyers. Yeah. So we have people that are living in a house right now. Let's say they paid $400,000. They're at a 3% interest rate. Yeah. I would never. I tell them, I had a client call me, hey, I want to sell my house and buy another one. I said, great, what's your rate? 2.75. I go, great, you're not selling that house. Yeah, I'm not selling the house for you. Yeah. Well, why? I need the money. No, do you have the money? Well, yeah. Okay. Get 5%. Yeah. You'll buy your second house as a primary residence. You are not going to sell that house.
Now you're getting rental income.
Yeah. And they're like, well, I want to take the money out. I said, that's a really bad. Look, I'll sell the house for you. That's a really bad idea. Yeah, yeah. Because those rates, you're never going to get those rates again.
And you know what? And I think nowadays also we're lacking of that specific right there. I think there's a lot of realtors that especially now with the market and the business, you get a seller a potential seller that calls you and they say, hey, I want to sell the property, and they're like, perfect, sign here, without even asking the whys and how you can actually help them better to maybe he doesn't have to sell. maybe there's an option, right? And I think that's something that's lacking nowadays.
I think those are probing questions that, once again, that comes back to training and how you were trained.
And experience probably too.
A lot of times, but like here, when you started getting trained with JM, I mean,
with JM.
That's Johnny Boy. If you guys don't
Johnny
know.
Boy.
I mean, I remember when he started. I remember when you started.
Yeah.
You know, but you were trained.
Yeah.
And what we're lacking now, unfortunately, a lot of times is training to ask those probing questions. Why do you want to sell? It's not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know, here you go, let's list a property. Instead of, hey, maybe you can keep this property. Because that client will remember what you did for them.
Yeah.
Then they'll refer you people. Because when they sell the house, they go, well, what rate you have? Well, I had a 2.5% rate. Why did you sell the house?
Yeah.
Why didn't your agent tell you to keep it? Did you not have the money for the other house? They go, well, yeah.
And that's it. You lost.
And that's it.
You lost that business.
Yeah. But they go for short-term pleasure versus the long-term pain. Great. You know what? They'll keep that house. They'll buy another house. But they'll be so grateful because you told them the truth. And it's not that you're deceiving them. You're just not telling them all their options.
Yeah. So for the next 5 months.
Right.
For the next 5 months, what do you think is the next big thing in real estate? Is it
next 5 months?
Is it investing? Is it move ups like you talked about? Is it refis? Do you think
I don't think there'll be a lot of move up buyers unless the rates drop dramatically because of price shock. I mean, if you're in a house, think about it. If you're a family of four, one income, let's say two incomes, right? You had a 2.5% interest rate. You got, let's say, on a $400,000 house, your payment is what? What would that be?
What?
$400,000 house is 2.5, 15, 18, under $1,900. $1,900.
Yeah, $1,900.
Why would you move
to
and that house is $400 when you purchased it? Now it's probably worth $600. Now they want to buy a $700,000-800,000 house. It doesn't make sense because they won't be able to afford the house. A lot of people are going to be stuck in their house.
Not even putting all the equity on it.
Yeah. You know, so I think we're going to start seeing. I remember before people would move every 7 years. Now it's 11 years.
Yeah.
Like I've been in my house for 25 plus years. So I think that the move-up buyer, especially here for Las Vegas, is going to be more limited because of income.
Yeah.
Because there's really not that many high-paying jobs here.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, it's still a market. There will still be some, but that's not a market that I would focus on. I would focus more on people coming in from California. There's still a lot of opportunity with new home builders.
I saw a number like 39,000 last year.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and we still have the majority of our buyers are coming from California.
Yeah.
But it's not just California now. For, people from California, they used to primarily come here to Nevada. Now they're going to Arizona, Idaho, Texas, New Mexico. And in Texas, they're moving to Austin, Dallas, primarily Austin. So I don't know. What are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on our daily grind every day that we do, grit. Finding properties that we can purchase, helping homeowners and home sellers move on to the next property and whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
We try to do basically, we try to help people financially set their future. We're helping a lot of our clients now that we sold houses to, and they have money, and we're like, hey, you need to buy a house for your kid.
Yeah.
They're like, well, I want him to do it. Well, the reality is this. If you don't help your child buy a house now, in 5 or 8 years, when they can afford to buy a house, they're not going to be able to buy a house close to you. It might be 30, 40 minutes away.
Right.
So, you know, I tell them, do you want your kid moving far away from you? Matter of fact, I have a guy right now, I sold him a house last month, and he called me up on Saturday, and he's like, I want to buy another house for my son. We found the house, negotiated the deal, and he's in escrow right now, getting ready to close in 30 days.
For his son?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bought it as a second home as an investment, and that's it.
Business is still I think business is still booming. I think there's a lot of business going on. They always say, well, how's the market like? And I think it always goes back to who you ask. I mean, there's always the perception, different perspectives of the real estate market. But in regards to everything that's going on with politics, with, you know, policies and all this stuff, I mean, I think it's creating a little chaos within, specifically the Latino community.
Yeah.
And moving up and purchasing, because I can tell you myself and other agents in the community that service that community that we had transactions canceled because of fear.
Look at the swamp meet.
Yeah, exactly.
A perfect example. So 2 points. You said, you know, it depends who you ask. I was at a dinner last week with 15 real estate agents, and they were the top agents in Las Vegas. You would know all their names.
Yeah.
And You asked every one of them, how's business? It's great. We're booming.
Yeah.
Number one, it's a mindset. Number two, they show up every day. So business is what you think it is.
Yeah.
If you think it's bad, then it's bad. If you're at home,
making it bad.
You're making it bad because you know what? You're not doing what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Like before, when I would have nothing to do, I would go out and I call it shake trees. I'd go out, talk to different lenders. I'd go talk to different people. I'd take my, like a lot of people say, well, now I have to be on Zillow. I can't afford Zillow. Do you know people? Take, get the people, the 2-3 people that you know, and invite them to lunch. People that have influence.
Yeah.
And just take them to lunch. Nothing. Just talk with them. Don't ask for referrals or anything, and they will refer you people. Say,
build a relationship.
Build the book.
Yeah.
Everybody wants everything nowadays. And now, with Zillow, everyone goes, I go to Zillow first.
Yeah.
It's easier. It's easier than any other website we have. So, we see people going to Zillow. And what is Zillow now? Zillow is just primarily a lead
data
source.
Yeah.
It's a lead source.
Yeah.
It's a lead source of
That's
what
all
it
it
is.
is.
And you have Realtor.com and you have those other ones. And are they still, there is no Zillow real estate offices.
No.
You notice that?
Yeah.
But they're still part of the transaction. That's a concern.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they have a lot of these agents that they have on these teams, and they have to pay a referral fee back to Zillow for that.
You know what? Now that you brought that up, and I know we're running short, but now that you brought that up, this big thing with Zillow and NAR and Compass and all this big news that a lot of people may not understand, where do you think that's going to take us? Where do you think that's going to go? And I'm going to say this out loud because I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll take that, but I think there will be a point where personally feel NAR is no longer in use.
It could be. We now have offices that have MLS access that aren't realtors.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movement going that way. Is a realtor brand still important? For me, I think it is.
Okay.
A lot of people don't see the benefit of it. When I wasn't involved with different organizations and helping lobbying, and also I didn't see it. But a perfect example, when COVID hit, it was because our association and the lobbying team of NVAR that we were able to be made, we were able to work.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. Is it going to go away? Maybe, maybe not. But we are seeing a shift diametrically go that way.
What about Zillow and Compass and the fight they got going on?
I don't think Zillow is ever going to go away.
Okay.
I think they're so ingrained in everything. Zillow is the 700-pound gorilla.
Yeah.
They are, and they've been for a while.
Yeah.
Are they going to go away? No, man. They got the smartest guys in the world working there.
Yeah.
They really do. They got the smartest people in the world working there, and they're not going to go away. They'll continue to take more market share. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Look, I don't have to like it. I just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like now, you can't get a Zillow account. Then they're not open.
Yeah.
So how do you compete with that? Now like on my listings, I have other agents showing my call. Yeah, I called the listing agent on Zillow and they showed me the house. I'm like, I'm the listing agent.
Yeah.
So look, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
A lot of time when that first came out, that's like, hey, that's not right. That's like if you have a listing and I go put my sign on your house, how is that different?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that makes sense. The way you see it, yeah.
But look, man, these are the cards. We just got to play our cards that we have.
Yeah.
Focus on the customer. Focus on the customer experience. And what's going to happen in the future? NAR is what, 1.5, 1.6 million people? Mm-hmm. It's really a trade organization.
Yeah.
And of those 1.5 million, or let's just look at locally here, out of the 15, 16,000 agents, how many of them do business? I believe that's over like 50% of them didn't even log into the MLS this year so far.
Yeah.
So really, what is it?
They're still making money.
It's a business, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But they do offer services if you use the tools. Do you use all the tools?
I really don't, to be honest with
Okay.
you. I'm lacking on that.
Yeah. They have a CRM there and everything.
Yeah.
They had another thing on there that you could do skip tracing, which very few people used.
Yeah.
They're doing the best they can. And you know what? It's like all things. Those are voluntary positions.
And I think it all goes back to perception and the news and the media and all this thing and how they're portraying it too, right? So it could be.
Yeah.
Well, brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Any last message you want to give to newer agents? Give your information where they can find you for mentoring.
Yeah, I'm here. What I do primarily, I do investments. I still sell real estate, but we focus on really buying properties. Like this year, we bought almost 100 homes,
Wow.
which we remodel and resell. We're always looking for key players that want to scale their business, well, not scale their business, that want to learn the investing part of it in real estate. It's 100 hours a week. You have to want to work. You have to want to grind. We will teach you to be wealthy.
Yeah.
I got two 18-year-old millionaires, or one's 19 now, and we teach them how to make money in real estate. So we're always looking for 1 or 2 people that can do that.
Awesome. Your information?
Yeah. My number is 702-371-2272, 702-371-CASA, C-A-S-A. That's an old number.
Noah Herrera, thank you for being here, brother.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Nice talking to you. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one.